feeling that your money is disappearing faster than snacks out of your kitchen? Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic. It's those sneaky expenses creeping into your life. These silent killers are wrecking your budget. Let's take a look at what they are so they will threaten your bank balance no more. Let's kick this list off with upsells. An upsell is where you are encouraged to buy a more expensive product or service than the one that you've decided to check out with. It could also be an add-on to the product you're buying, or it could actually be completely separate products or services in addition to what you've actually decided to buy. It's basically something that encourages you to spend more than what you'd initially added into your basket to check out with, and to do so at a point where you're vulnerable to an impulse purchase. It is a tactic that is deployed by retailers, big and small. I often see it with online courses made and sold by creators. There might be extra printable products or templates that they sell in addition to the course. But it goes right the way up to big retailers such as Amazon. What Amazon might do, for example, is say you've just bought a book, they will show a bunch of related titles that you might also like in the hope that you will add those to your basket as well. Try to be wise to upsells and give them a swerve at checkout. However, if an upsell looks like it might be genuinely something that you want, do take a little look around at other places that are selling the same thing online just to be sure that you're definitely getting a good deal. The thing with an upsell is that it's an impulse purchase decision because you were literally just about to check out, right? And then you were presented with this additional option like, oh, would you like to add this as well? Just take a little bit of time to make sure that you're checking it's the best value price, because I have found often that when retailers try to bundle things together and claim that it's a discount, if you look elsewhere, it's actually cheaper somewhere else. Next on the list is buy now, pay later. The option to buy now, pay later is so popular. In fact, the market has quadrupled since 2020. What it actually gives you is a false sense of security. Buy now, pay later options like Klarna are just debt. 0% is great when you're making your repayments on time. But if buy now, pay later becomes a habit and you buy more and more things on the never never, then eventually that cute new dress that you initially bought is going to cost you way more than what the original retail price was. And as we all know with debt, there comes a point where it can really snowball out of your control. My rule is that I never spend money I don't have on stuff that I don't really need. Sales shopping. Stores do not run sales to save you money. They run sales to get you to spend money. It is a marketing tactic. Sales are carried out in order to clear out old stock that a brand is struggling to sell, to convince you to buy something that hadn't been shifting at full retail price, to give you the illusion of a bargain, and to give you that feeling of FOMO, that if you don't get involved with this sale, it's gonna be over in a matter of days. And then you've missed out on a bargain. It is all geared up towards getting you to part with your hard-earned cash. It's only ever a bargain if you were gonna buy it anyway. If you weren't, all you're doing is spending money. The new season must-have. I'm putting this under sneaky expenses because even though our rational mind may tell us that we don't need any more new clothes, we struggle to resist the pull of the must-have because we are being told all of the time that we need the shiny new thing. That feeling that we should be keeping our wardrobe up to date, that it's somehow a normal thing to do to replace your entire wardrobe every single season, even though you've got clothes that are probably going to go on and on for years and years to come. With autumn well and truly here, my inbox and social media feed are just full of brands and influencers trying to convince me of all the new stuff I need to buy for autumn winter. And when you're online a lot and you're bombarded with this stuff all of the time, it just becomes really normalized, that attitude that, hey, new season, new clothes, there's a must-have, you have to get it. Everything else that you bought last year is now irrelevant. The thing is, once you buy the thing, it's almost immediately outdated. There's always a brand new thing. It never ends. So I do my best to resist this concept that in a new season, you have to buy new clothes. Actually, last season's clothes are still looking pretty good to me. Look, there is nothing wrong with getting yourself a brand new coat, brand new trousers, brand new cardigan, brand new jumper in the new season, as long as it's something that you can afford that's within your budget. If this sort of thing is leading you to overspend beyond your means, that's when it's a problem. This is where we just need to start pushing back against the idea that we have to have the brand new shiny thing. Next on the list is snacks and drinks on the go. I haven't needed to take out a massive changing bag filled with nappies and wipes and spare changes of clothes and milk for quite a few years now. However, I still always take out with me a medium-sized bag when I'm out and about with the kids or even by myself, so that I can fit in a water bottle and some snacks as well while we're on the go. If you're always buying snacks or drinks every single time you're out and about, the cost can really add up over the course of the year. We're talking hundreds, even over £1,000. While it's really nice to treat yourself occasionally, you can save a lot simply by making sure that you have snacks and drinks on hand every time you go out. The next sneaky expense is wasted food. A typical household wastes £1,000 worth of food every single year. £1,000. Imagine what you could do with £1,000. That is a healthy chunk of change towards your next holiday or towards Christmas celebrations, towards birthday presents for your kids. Even though food is so expensive right now, we still as a society feel quite comfortable with throwing it out, because I think in this modern day, food is so abundant. It's not like the days of rationing when every tiny little morsel needed to be used up because you couldn't just go out and get some more. We've accepted that food waste is okay because food is not scarce. So I've been really trying to change my mindset about food waste by challenging myself to use up every single thing that I have that is perishable before I go out and buy anything else. What I'll try to do is do a meal plan around what we already have in. And if I do need to go to the shops, it's purely to buy things that will complete the meals based on using that stuff up. And embrace leftovers. And if you don't feel like it tonight, then use your freezer so that you make sure you're setting it aside for another day when you will feel like it. Late fees. Whether it's a late library return or a late payment on your mortgage, late fees are a really frustrating expense, especially if the reason is purely that you simply forgot. Try to make sure that you have direct debits and auto renewals in place, and set reminders in your phone to return or renew things as and when you need to. And on a very similar note to this, insurance renewals. Annual bills like insurance tend to go up every single year, but because we live such busy lives, we often just surrender to that higher cost because we can't be bothered to look for a better deal. You really should try to take the time to seek out a better quote. In some cases, you can end up saving hundreds. Whenever I have taken a bit of time to search around for cheaper home insurance or search around for cheaper car insurance, I would say generally it has taken me max 30 minutes to 60 minutes to have a look through all the quotes, do a comparison and make a final decision, and then apply to switch if I have managed to beat the quote from my current provider. So when you think about it that way, 60 minutes for potentially hundreds in savings, it is really worth taking the time. Try and set a reminder in your phone for when your insurance renewal is coming up, and then set aside some time ahead of that date to have a look around to see if you can get a better deal. School events and one-off days. If you have kids at school, then you will know that schools tend to have a calendar that's quite busy with various different events throughout the year, such as discos, special themed charity days, special themed dress-up days, sports days, awareness days. There's normally a couple of things a term, at least at my kids' school anyway. And you want your kid to participate in a whole school thing. You don't want them to end up being the only one in class who didn't get sent in with the Stone Age Day costume, or didn't get sent in with the Egyptian Day costume, or didn't have the onesie to wear to onesie day. So it is an unavoidable expense, but how much it actually costs you is really down to how well you can plan ahead. If you've left it to the last minute, you're going to end up having to buy something from a retailer at full price, maybe 20 quid, 25 quid for a whole new outfit. Whereas if you buy secondhand, give yourself, say, a month in order to shop around and find something that's just right, that's the right size, but is also a really good price, then you can save yourself as much as 50%, even 80% off of the original retail price. I really rate Vinted for things like costumes for kids. There are so many different things on there. But obviously there are lots of other online marketplaces too, such as Facebook. And even on the Facebook marketplace, you can often pick things up for free because people are just clearing stuff out and they just want to get rid of the clutter. Leaving it last minute just generally means that you will end up overspending in order to solve the problem. So take some time to take a look at your school's upcoming calendar and make a little plan for how you're going to make sure you have all the bits and pieces that you need. Dry clean only clothes. I have made it a bit of a rule with myself now just to never bother buying dry clean only clothes. Not just because of the cost versus just using my washing machine at home, but also because of the time it takes to take it into the dry cleaner, drop it off, and then you have to come back again and pick it up in a couple of days. Next is upgrading your phone every year. A new phone typically costs over £1,000, but people people get locked into this cycle of buying the brand new thing every single year? It's because the phone companies are very, very clever at marketing their brand new handset as being the ultimate one that they've ever made, the best one they've ever made with all the best features. You absolutely must buy it, otherwise you miss out on all these fantastic features that your current phone doesn't have. The truth is that smartphones are not built to be obsolete after just a year. The manufacturing companies just need to keep you locked into a cycle where you buy one every single year as habit, because that's what keeps their business in profit. As this professional mobile reviewer writes, if I've learned one thing from my constant stream of new phones, the more they claim to change, the more they tend to stay the same. So my current phone is going to be all paid off in January, and I'm actually really looking forward not to having that monthly expense in my budget. I have absolutely no plans to upgrade. Another sneaky expense is convenience charges. Charges for delivery of food, clothes and goods can really add up over time. Where possible, make a list of things that you need to order and try and order them in groups so that you save on delivery costs over time. And if you're really craving a takeaway, then consider going and collecting it rather than waiting for delivery in order to save you money on those delivery fees. And finally, overlapping and underused subscriptions. The subscriptions that we gather over time can really add up in terms of costs, but it kind of goes unnoticed by us, or I've certainly found that it goes unnoticed by me, because when you sign up to them, the cost seems so low at the time. Like it might be as low as only $4.99 or even $9.99, and you feel like, hey, that a month, that's not that much money. But the trouble is, if you have 10 subscriptions that you're paying for a month, then you're looking at 100 quid a month. Ouch. Sit down and try and make a list of all of your subscriptions. Try and include TV services, music streaming services, any food delivery boxes that you get as well, any kind of things that your kids use, such as Amazon Kids Plus, and beauty subscription boxes as well. I took a look at our Prime subscriptions the other day and I saw that we were still paying for Kids Plus for the children, and they don't actually play on their Amazon Fire Kids tablets anymore. They've got some old iPads of ours that they use now. So I cancelled that cost. And what's interesting is, and I find this with lots of other subscriptions such as Now TV, for example, Amazon offered me a discount for a year if I kept up with the subscription. I opted not to do that. I opted just to make the saving, but it is a really interesting tactic, and one that I think is really worth trying. If you threaten to cancel a subscription, you can often get a discount on it. One thing that we do as a household is to rotate through our TV streaming subscriptions, because you're not locked into a 12-month deal like you are with services such as Sky TV or Virgin TV, and you can't watch all of the TV and film on all of the streaming services all at once. So what we'll do is we always keep Netflix, because the kids watch quite a lot on Netflix, and then we rotate through the others. So at the moment we've got Apple TV, because I actually got a deal on Apple TV a little while ago, and we're binging our way through Slow Horses. And when we're done with that, we will shift on probably to Paramount Plus, because there is a new season of Yellowstone coming out and I definitely want to see that. Right, it's that time in the video when I throw it back to you and ask you to tell me, what are the sneaky expenses in your life that you uncovered, that maybe you cancelled or maybe you switched up in order to save a bit of money? I would love to know. Please share in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for lots more money saving and money making tips from me.